Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. A shadow looms over Heartland as the family braces for a future they never expected. What happens when the dreams we hold closest to our hearts start to unravel? Season 19 kicks off with a twist, and Amy finds herself standing at a crossroads, torn between what she's always known and what might lie ahead. Will she rise above her past and reclaim the heart of the ranch, or will the future she dreams of slip through her fingers? The screen fades to black, and in the distance, we hear the unmistakable sound of hooves pounding against the earth. It's the beginning of a new season, and with it, a wave of uncertainty crashes against the walls of Heartland Ranch. Amy Fleming, once the emotional pillar that held the family together, finds herself struggling with something deeper than she's ever faced before: her own dreams. As she walks through the barn, her thoughts are consumed by an overwhelming sense of change. The ranch, the animals, the place she's always called home, it all seems to be shifting beneath her. She's been carrying the weight of not only her own grief, but also the expectations of those around her. Since Ty's death, she's worked tirelessly to keep everything together. But it's taken a toll on her in ways no one can see. Amy has always been the one people turn to for guidance, whether it's the animals in need of healing or her family searching for answers. But as the new season begins, it's clear that Amy's been carrying something much heavier. There's a sense of unease and unsettled energy surrounding her. And though she's tried to suppress it, her internal battle is growing louder by the day. She stands at the edge of the ranch, gazing over the field she's known her entire life, wondering if she's lost her way. The world around her feels familiar, yet there's an undeniable sense of change in the air. The ranch is not just a place for healing animals. It's a sanctuary for Amy, a place where she's been able to find peace. But what happens when that peace is threatened? In the distance, Jack, Amy's steadfast grandfather, calls out to her, reminding her that the horses are waiting. She puts on a brave face, pushing the thoughts aside and returning to what she knows best. Yet the question remains, how much longer can she keep going without facing the truth of her own emotions? As Amy gets back to work, her heart is conflicted. She's not just grieving Ty's loss, she's grieving a part of herself she thought was lost forever. The emotional core of the series has always been Amy's connection to the animals and to Ty. Without him, the heart of Heartland feels like it's missing a vital piece. But the world keeps turning, and Amy is forced to move forward, even when it feels impossible. While Amy struggles with her inner turmoil, the rest of the family faces their own challenges. Lou is busy managing the business side of the ranch, keeping things afloat. But even she can't deny that something is off. Tim, ever the optimist, tries to keep the family together, but there's a sadness in his eyes that's hard to ignore. Georgie, now a young adult, is finding her own way, but there's a distance between her and the rest of the family that's hard to bridge. The ranch may look the same on the surface, but beneath it, the cracks are starting to show. Each family member is carrying their own burdens, and it's only a matter of time before everything starts to come to a head. What's worse, there's something else lurking just beneath the surface, a secret, a mysterious event that could change everything. As the first episode of Season 19 unfolds, Amy receives an unexpected letter, one that seems to hold the key to something bigger than she could have imagined. The handwriting on the envelope is unfamiliar, and yet there's a sense of recognition she can't shake. The contents of the letter suggest that someone from Amy's past may be closer than she ever thought. The tone shifts as Amy contemplates the letter's contents. It's not just a letter, it's a message. One that holds the potential to alter her future and the future of Heartland forever. Could this letter be the answer she's been waiting for, or is it a warning? As she grapples with the possibility, the weight of the ranch, her family, and her own hopes and fears becomes even more overwhelming. But this isn't just about Amy, it's about the future of Heartland itself. Season 19 promises to delve deep into the heart of the ranch, its people, and the unspoken truths that lie hidden in the shadows. The stakes have never been higher. What will Amy choose when faced with the hardest decision of her life? As the first episode progresses, we begin to see glimpses of what's to come. There's a palpable sense of suspense lingering in every scene, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, eager to discover what lies ahead for Amy and the rest of the family. The tension builds, and with it, the realization that nothing will ever be the same again. The opening of season 19 isn't just a new chapter, it's a new beginning. For Amy, for the ranch, and for every character who has ever walked its fields. But with change comes uncertainty, and the path forward will not be easy. The only question that remains is whether the love and resilience that Heartland is known for will be enough to carry the family through the darkest days ahead. Night falls quietly over Heartland Ranch, but within the walls of the house, the silence feels heavy. Amy sits at the kitchen table, the letter still in her hands, its contents etched in her mind. She's read it over and over, each time hoping to find a different interpretation. But the message remains the same. The words feel like a weight pressing against her chest, threatening to suffocate her. Whoever sent this letter knows things only a few select people could. It's a reminder of a past Amy thought she had left behind, a past she spent years trying to bury. Her thoughts wander back to the last conversation she had with Ty, the plans they had for the future, the promises they made to each other. How could she have known that, in a single moment, everything would change, that the future they were building would be taken away from her? Yet this letter forces her to confront the idea that perhaps Ty's death wasn't the only loss she had to endure. Something or someone is about to shake the very foundation of everything Amy has worked so hard to preserve. As she stares out the window, her mind races. The letter speaks of a mysterious figure, a person with a connection to the past that could alter everything she thought she knew about herself and the ranch. Amy can't ignore the gnawing feeling that this is the beginning of something much larger. Could this person be the key to unlocking secrets that have remained buried for years? Outside, the wind picks up, rustling the trees and sending a chill through the air. Amy shivers but doesn't move. It's as if the world outside has become just as uncertain as the one inside her heart. She knows she needs answers, but she's terrified of what those answers might be. A figure's connection to her family, and how this letter fits into the complicated puzzle of Heartland's history, remains unclear. The next morning, Amy sets out to meet with Lou, the weight of the letter still heavy in her hands. Her decision to share it with her sister isn't taken lightly. Lou has always been her confidant, the person she turns to when everything feels out of control. As Amy walks across the ranch, she finds herself once again drawn to the heart of Heartland, the stables where the horses graze peacefully. They are a symbol of stability in her life, a constant, even when everything else is shifting beneath her feet. Lou's face reflects concern as Amy hands her the letter. "Who would send this?" Lou asks, the tension in her voice clear. It's a question Amy doesn't have an answer to. But the more she thinks about it, the more she feels this letter isn't just a coincidence, it's a call to action. As they sit together, Amy and Lou discuss the letter in greater detail, each conversation thread leading to more questions than answers. Lou is practical, always focused on what's in front of her. But even she can't deny the sense of unease the letter brings. Lou offers her thoughts, her usual optimism trying to shine through the doubt. Maybe it's nothing, Amy. Maybe it's someone reaching out for help. Someone who knew Ty. But whatever it is, we'll figure it out just like we always do. But Amy knows this is different. This isn't just about finding closure for Ty's death. It's about uncovering something much deeper. The letter speaks of a time in her life she thought she had moved on from. But now it feels like everything is coming to the surface again, as if the past refuses to stay buried. For the first time in years, Amy feels vulnerable not just to the grief of losing Ty, but to a world she doesn't fully understand. Worse, she's starting to question whether she's truly ready to confront what's to come. Meanwhile, Jack sits in his study, deep in thought. He's aware of the changes happening within his family, but he doesn't fully grasp the magnitude of what's brewing beneath the surface. His thoughts are interrupted by a sudden knock at the door. Tim enters, his usual confident self, but there's something in his eyes, something that tells Jack his son-in-law isn't just here to chat. "I know something's going on, Jack. I can feel it." "What's Amy not telling me?" Tim asks, his voice low. Jack remains quiet, knowing Amy is dealing with something far bigger than anyone realizes. The ranch has been through so much in the last few years, but now the future feels more uncertain than ever. Jack knows they'll need to stick together as a family if they want to weather this new storm. Back at the ranch, the family dynamic is shifting. Georgie, now an adult, is beginning to step into her own role at Heartland. But there's a distance between her and the others. She's been on her own journey, struggling with the reality of growing up. Though she's found some sense of purpose, the weight of the past still hangs over her. There's a part of her that longs for the connection she had with Ty, the stability he brought to their lives. But with him gone, Georgie is left to carve out her own path. Later that day, while Lou and Amy are still grappling with the letter's implications, the family receives news that could change everything. A new arrival is coming to Heartland. The message is cryptic, and the person delivering it is vague about the details. This is no ordinary visitor. This is someone with a personal stake in the ranch, someone with a connection to the past that could unravel everything Amy and Lou have fought to protect. Amy feels her heart race at the thought of this person arriving. Is it the mysterious figure from the letter? Will this person bring answers, or only more questions? The suspense builds as she stares into the unknown, feeling the weight of every unspoken truth pressing down on her shoulders. The family's future hangs in the balance, and Amy knows it more with each passing day. As the riders come into view, Amy's pulse quickens, the reality of the situation settling in. The past has arrived at their doorstep. The riders dismount, their movements slow and deliberate. Among them is a woman tall and commanding, with an air of quiet authority. She steps forward, her gaze meeting Amy's. Her face is familiar, yet Amy can't place where she's seen her before. There's a flicker of recognition, but it's buried beneath layers of confusion and unease. The woman's presence is unsettling, as though she carries secrets too heavy to share. "Are you Amy Fleming?" the woman asks, her voice calm but piercing. Amy nods, her throat tight. "I am. And you are?" The woman hesitates for a moment before answering. "My name is Evelyn. Evelyn Carter." "I knew your mother." The name hits Amy like a punch to the gut. Evelyn Carter. Amy had heard stories about her mother's past stories that always felt like distant, forgotten memories. But hearing the name spoken aloud makes the past feel all too real. Evelyn was someone from the past, someone connected to the ranch in ways Amy had never imagined. "I know this is unexpected," Evelyn continues, her eyes locked on Amy's. "But there's something you need to understand, something about your mother's legacy that hasn't been told." She pauses, watching Amy's reaction. "I've come to help you. But you need to trust me. There's so much more to this ranch than you realize." Amy's heart races, a storm of emotions crashing inside her. The mention of her mother's legacy strikes a deep chord, pulling her back to a time she's long tried to forget. The idea that there are untold truths about Heartland, about her family, is too much to grasp all at once. What could Evelyn be talking about? What is it that Amy doesn't know? Lou, sensing the growing tension, steps forward. "We don't have time for cryptic messages," she says firmly. "If you have something to say it. We've got a ranch to run and a family to take care of." Evelyn glances at Lou, unfazed by her directness. "I understand, but this isn't just about the ranch. This is about your family's future. There are forces at play here, and Amy needs to understand her role and what's coming. It's not just about healing animals anymore. It's about protecting the legacy of Heartland from something darker than you can imagine." Amy's mind spins. Protecting the legacy of Heartland? From what? She's always thought of the ranch as a place of peace, a sanctuary. But now, the idea that something could be threatening it, a shadow that's been looming for years, fills her with dread. "Your mother knew this day would come," Evelyn adds, her voice taking on a more serious tone. "She made choices that will affect everything you do from here on out, and I'm here to help you understand them." Amy is overwhelmed, but she can't turn away. This is the moment where everything changes. The truth, however painful, is waiting to be uncovered. And as much as Amy wants to run, to protect herself and her family from whatever this woman is talking about, she knows she can't. The future of Heartland is at stake, and it's her choice whether or not to face it head on. The weight of the decision bears down on Amy as Evelyn's words hang in the air. "You have no idea what's at risk, Amy," Evelyn says, her gaze unwavering. "But you will soon enough." The scream begins to fade as the wind howls louder, the mystery deepening, leaving Amy and the viewers on the edge of their seats, wondering what's next. The past is no longer just a memory, it's alive, and it's coming for Heartland. Later that evening, the tension at Heartland is palpable, hanging in the air like an impending storm. Amy's mind whirls with 1,000 questions, but Evelyn's cryptic words have thrown her into a whirlwind of confusion and dread. Who is this woman, really? What could she possibly know about Amy's mother that Amy herself hasn't been told? The idea that Evelyn's return marks the beginning of something much larger fills Amy with a sense of foreboding. The ranch, once a place of peace and healing, now feels like a battleground. The stakes are higher than ever. Amy's eyes scan the horizon as she stands with Lou and Jack. The heavy silence between them is almost unbearable. The family is divided, one part instinctively skeptical of Evelyn, the other uncertain but open to what she might have to offer. Lou, always the rational one, remains silent for now, but her worry is evident. Jack, on the other hand, has been around long enough to know that when a storm is brewing, it's only a matter of time before it hits. The quiet hum of the ranch, normally so comforting, now feels oppressive. Amy can hear the soft whinnies of the horses in the distance, the only sound that grounds her amidst the chaos swirling inside her. She knows one thing for sure: whatever happens, she has to find the truth. But the deeper she digs, the more tangled the web becomes. Later that night, after Evelyn has gone, Amy finds herself alone in the barn, staring at the horses. The familiar smell of hay and leather is a temporary balm for her racing thoughts. But even the peaceful sound of hooves grazing can't quiet the unease in her heart. What could her mother have been involved in? Why hadn't she ever mentioned Evelyn or anything to do with this hidden legacy? She hears footsteps behind her, and without turning around, she knows it's Lou. "You okay?" Lou asks quietly, her voice soft, trying to bridge the gap that has grown between them since the arrival of this new mystery. Amy doesn't answer immediately. Instead, she breathes in the cool night air, trying to center herself. "I don't know if I can handle this, Lou. Everything feels like it's falling apart. I don't understand why it's all coming back now. Why she's here. What is it she wants me to do?" Lou steps closer, her presence a comfort. But even she knows the weight of the situation is too much for Amy to bear alone. "Amy, you don't have to figure it out all at once. If you want, we can look into this together. You're not alone in this." Amy turns to face Lou, her expression a mixture of frustration and fear. "But what if I am alone, Lou? What if all of this, everything is too much? What if it's already too late?" Amy whispers, her voice cracking. Lou opens her mouth to respond, but just as she's about to speak, the sound of hooves approaching interrupts them. The two sisters turn to see a figure on horseback emerging from the shadows. It's Evelyn again, her face set in grim determination. She's come back, and this time there's no mistaking it. Something has shifted in the air. Something is about to happen that can't be ignored. Amy's heart pounds as Evelyn dismounts, her movements deliberate and purposeful. She strides toward them, eyes sharp and focused. "We need to talk," Evelyn says, her voice low but urgent. There's no more time for hesitation. Lou steps forward, her tone sharp, a mix of concern and defiance. "What do you mean, no more time? What's going on here, Evelyn? You've got to explain yourself. You can't just show up, throw cryptic statements at us, and expect us to trust you."